one was interested in the difference between the sheep, actually ewes, and the lambs. They wanted the cute, photo-friendly lambs, which were now 6 weeks old and more photogenic than the just-about-to-be-sheared sheep, which looked scraggy and unkempt with their mud-encrusted shaggy fleeces. Since British Wool had approached him to photograph their brochure on Hadley Land, offering to pay for his time, this job had proved one of the most... entertaining was probably the best word. Who knew that taking a few photographs was actually a full-scale production? 2 vans had arrived 2 days ago, filled with several rails of clothes and enough photographic kit and caboodle to take pictures of the entire population of Bowden Rig. These had been followed by 3 taxis from Carlisle Station, conveying a full entourage of 4 models, 2 stylists, 2 wardrobe ladies and the photographer, his assistant, a creative director, a PA, and 2 clients from British Wool. Rex rounded up one of the lambs, which skipped into shot, baaing furiously, making the model smile winsomely. "Oh, isn't he so cute?" "He'd be a damn sight cuter if he stood still," grumbled the photographer, peering through his lens. Following a quick whistle and a few subtle commands, Rex nudged the skittish lamb back into place. Nick, impressed by her patience, watched as Tara tilted her head this way and that, angling her body to show off the garments. To his surprise, she turned her sleepy almond eyes his way, a sultry smile lifting the corners of her mouth as she stared rather blatantly at his. "Yes, Tara, yes, that look. Lovely, lovely. Just tilt your head to the right. Keep looking at Nick. Yeah, that's it. You want him bad. I'm loving it." A wicked glint lit the model's eyes, and Nick felt himself blush to the very roots of his blonde hair, and a heated flush raced up his body. With a swallow, he resisted the urge to duck his head. Instead, he met her slightly mocking gaze with a quick lift of one eyebrow and some heat of his own. Country-born and bred didn't mean that he was clueless. Nick Hadley, to his mother's despair, had yet to find the right woman, but that didn't mean he hadn't played the field. Tara smirked in retaliation, and then, in accordance with the photographer's next slew of commands, put her hands on her hips and threw her head back, once again distant and unattainable. Nick suddenly felt like a third wheel. He had a ton of stuff that he should be doing this morning instead of hanging around like a grubby schoolboy. The photographer called out to Tara, "Okay, you're done for the moment." As Nick walked forward to chase the lamb back to the rest of the flock, Tara stepped forward to the edge of the rock. "Catch me," she said, and launched herself into the air. Surprised, Nick took a step forward and caught her easily in his arms. She weighed nothing, and she crowed delightedly at his catch, as if he'd done something amazing, making him feel like every superhero rolled into one. Gently he set her down on the ground, disentangling himself from her poncho and scarf. He gave her a smile. "There you go, safe and sound." "You're all man," she breathed, and he almost wanted to laugh. It was such a cliched line, but the knowing, suggestive look in her eyes stalled him. "Last time I looked," he said with easy confidence. Now it was her turn to blush. "You're staying at the George Inn in the village, I believe." She nodded. "Quaint, but I've stayed in worse on location." "Dinner?" asked Nick. "Are you asking me or telling me?" Tara replied, her eyes coy with a gentle smirk playing around her mouth. "There's a very good restaurant at the local manor house. I could pick you up at 7:30. "Make it 8 and you have a date," returned Tara, with the air of someone who was used to having her own way. Damn, it was after 6. It had taken longer than he'd planned to finish today. Unfortunately, farming waited for no man, and he'd had to catch up with those jobs that going out on the photo shoot had forced him to neglect.